Hello, my name is Ola Koftun, and in this video clip I will talk about and demonstrate the Maestro admin tool. Maestro Access Control Administration, or in other words Maestro Admin, is a configuration tool for a new native Maestro database. Maestro Admin combines role-based and group-based access control models. I will start with a small diagram where we can see that role defines the set of actions that can be performed by the user. Each user can have a single role assigned to it and be a member of several groups. There are three access modes that can be assigned to the database assets. Private means that users who belong to admin's group only can see those assets. Public means that everybody can see those assets. And group. Group defines what database assets folders are accessible for the specific group, and each group can have view and modify permission on the database assets folders. In this example, I want to explain how the group can add or restrict permission for specific users. So please see the highlighted orange scenario, where the user has a restricted role, but he belongs to weather group, which have view and modify permission. So in this case, the group permission will override the user's current role, and the user will have an option to modify the assets. Or the green highlighted scenario. User 1 has a system operator role that allows him a full operation control on the database assets. But if, for example, the user belongs only to playout group, it will restrict his role permission and he will be able only to view certain items. This example explains the private access mode on database folder. So only admins will be able to see those assets set to private mode. Now let's create a new user and configure its role and group. The tool is located in C or Add Maestro folder. I'm logging in as a system administrator, SQL user. As you can see, I already created a list of users, list of groups, and defined some roles with some permissions. Let's create a new user and set the passport, and the user is created. By default, each new user gets the system operator role, which means full operation control. I will now restrict the user by assigning him to journalist role. I will go to roles and say that journalists will be able to add an item to the rundown, change layout, copy asset, create folder, create ticker, modify assets metadata, modify data queries, and move assets. Everything else will be blocked for journalist users. Now I will go to Groups tab and create a new group. Let's call it News Production. Okay. Now I will select which users will be part of News Production group. I'll select Tom, Mary, and Anna. Now I will go to the Folders tab and will set an access permission to each of my groups. Here is my database structure with all the folders, templates, and playlists that we have. I will go to my workspace. I'll select the weather production and will set it to group access mode. In this case, the weather group will be able to view and modify the weather production assets. Politics will be able to view the assets, playout and news production will be able to view, same as finance. I will go to our news production and say that the new production group will have an option to view and modify the assets. Weather will be able to see, politics view and modify, playout only view, and finance view and modify. I will go to metadata tab. From the left side we can see the list of asset types in our database. From the left, once I will set a focus on one of the asset types, we can see some default meta fields that we can assign to our assets. So in this case I will assign type and name meta fields to my playlists. I will go to meta field tab and create some new meta fields. Let's say camera. I can select which data type will be used for this field. For example, boolean, integer, real, string, date, time, date and time, selection and text. I will use the selection type. And now from the right side I will let the selection value. Camera 1, camera 2 and camera 3. Let's create another meta field called details. I will use a text data type. We'll go back to metadata tab and assign a new meta fields to our assets. Let's take item, assign camera and details. And now, once selecting an item, we can see the camera selection, metadata, details, some free text can be edited there, the name of the asset and the type. It's important to mention that only the MS SQL admins users can be able to create and assign new roles, create or remove meta fields and metadata, create or delete users. So now I will log in with my new created user. I'll open the admin tool, log in with. Once I'm logged in with my new created user, I can now change the password for my user. I can check my role and group permissions, but as you can see, all database management operations are blocked for this user. Thank you for watching.